Yes, what's going on, people? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, people, as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, people, this weekend, heavyweight action, right? Kubrat Pulev and Murat Gassiev will be squaring off for the WBA regular title. Now, there's been a lot of talk about sanctioning bodies over the last few weeks, and that has obviously stemmed from Terence Crawford, what we learned about him being stripped of the WBC belt for him not paying in sanctioning fees. It's led to that discussion being spoken about again in boxing in terms of sanctioning bodies and their relevance and what they're bringing to the sport. And I'll be real with you, I can see both sides of the argument. Now, listen, I tend to lean heavily towards the against sanctioning bodies and what they stand for, particularly the WBC, who the abbreviation for them is We Be Crooks, because we know what the WBC are about. You know, they're not the only one, right? But, you know, sanctioning bodies tend to be more of a headache than not. But on the positive side of things, I can see the relevance that they do bring to boxing in terms of you're a fighter on the way up, you fight for a title, all of a sudden, your value, your money, everything goes up if you're fighting for an actual title. The problem is with these sanctioning bodies is that they've realized that and they are now milking the term title. Every fight seems to be for some sort of title, international title, regular title, intercontinental title. Do you know what I mean? So that devalues the brand, right? And this is a classic example of that right here with this fight. The WBA regular title, regular heavyweight title, right? Nobody is going to look at Kubrat Pulev and Murat Gassiev as a champion at heavyweight. No one, right? Because they're not. The champion at heavyweight really is Alexander Usyk. And, you know, you can say Fabio Wardley as well now because he got stripped. But technically, if you were to ask anyone who is the best heavyweight in the world, they would say it's Alexander Usyk, right? He has not lost his belts in the ring. He has lost his belts because of, you know, sanctioning rules and fees and everything else and mandatories and all that stuff. So we have a regular heavyweight championship fight here this weekend. Now, Kubrat Pulev is 44 years old. Murat Gassiev is a cruiserweight that's bulked up to heavyweight, hasn't done anything since he's moved up to heavyweight. He's actually lost again. I mean, he lost to cruiserweight to Alexander Usyk, no disgrace there, right? But moving up to heavyweight, and he always seemed like, you know, not the biggest cruiserweight anyway. So moving up to heavyweight, you know, he hasn't really had that much of a particularly great run. He lost to Otto Wallin, who is now retired, I believe. He lost to after he lost to Chisora. So yeah, he has had some other fights at heavyweight as well. Sefa Safiri knocked him out, but come on, you know. So what's the implications here for the winner? I really don't know. This WBA regular heavyweight title has just been a stain on the heavyweight division, really, over the last few years. I mean, Mamu Char had it for however long, right? Then he fought Kubrat Pulev, lost that. Pulev out for a year, still holds the belt. You know what I mean? It's just a weird situation here with the WBA regular heavyweight title. No one really looks at it as an actual heavyweight title of relevance, but it's still a heavyweight title, so to speak. It can still be billed as a heavyweight championship. So, yeah, who have I got winning this? Really, Gassiev should win this, but, you know, Pulev is a spoiler, even at 44 years old. I mean, in his prime, which was what, 2014 probably, he was, you know, a good fighter, operated at legit championship level. Since then, you know, I mean, he's not nowhere near that particular level, but Gassiev has yet to impress at heavyweight either. So I think that this is probably going to be an ugly fight. Not going to be the most exciting, but really, I think Gassiev at 32 years old, if he can't beat a 44-year-old well out of his prime Kubrat Pulev, then what does that say for Murat Gassiev in his role at heavyweight, you know? So let's see. Does it really spark the interest? Not really, but, you know, got to put the content out there. So maybe it might interest you. Let me know. Drop your thoughts on it in the comment section below, people. But yeah, this weekend in Dubai it is as well. Kubrat Pulev and Murat Gassiev fighting for the WBA regular heavyweight title. And now, as we speak about those titles, what's your guys' thoughts on it, man? Maybe I should do a separate video on that with, you know, the whole Crawford spat with the WBC and, you know, the sanctioning body talk in general. Where is the money going? You know, all that sort of stuff. So, like I said, I can see positives, mainly negatives, but I can see what positives it does bring as well. So, yeah. Drop your thoughts about it in the comment section below, people, and I'll catch you on the next video.